How you doing, everyone? My name is Ryan and this is Addy, and welcome back to another edition of Boxtalk. It's time for This Week in Boxing.
Me and Ryan are having a little competition, guy. Let's just say that. He's trying to act like it's not a competition, but deep down he knows it is.
It's not a competition.
He knows it is. Doesn't matter. We know what's going on. I know what's going on.
It can't be a competition.
Oh, here we go. Look, go on.
It can't be a competition where I can look eye to eye with it. I'll be a heavyweight champion and you can't.
Yeah, I can't. Nah, it's right.
Nah. Let's start again. It's time for This Week in Boxing, where we give you all the news, reviews and all the bits and bobs from the past week. And it's not competition.
It is competition.
No, it's not.
It is competition. This is a competition to see who can get in a better shape, and I love it. It's good. It's fun. It's fun times. Let's bring it on, boy.
Alright. Let's go straight to the fights. We've finally had a fight to talk about.
Jeez, it's been
and
a long
it's
time.
one fight.
Well, Panetta.
Yeah, Panetta.
Yes, Panetta. Is that his name? Panetta, isn't it?
Yeah, but I can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
He got a knockout.
Yeah, in the 5th round, guys. You might remember he fought Vladimir Klitschko. I think about 3-4 years ago.
3 years ago, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's kind of back.
Yeah. No, so I tell you what. We were watching the fight.
He's definitely off the juice.
And let's be honest, we were watching the fight and we didn't watch the entrance. And we were like, he looks familiar, and then we put it together and said, we put it together and said, it's Panetta. But I said before, that I think he's a solid contender. I mean, I thought he boxed
contender.
well. No, not contender, top 15-ish. I thought he boxed well. Solid.
Top 15 is a big bloody shark racer.
I know it might be a big thing, but I'm just saying that he boxed well. He boxed well. He's competent.
Yeah, and Hughie Fury, they've been linking Hughie Fury with all sorts of names.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. Have a bit of Panetta if Hughie Fury's camp think he's around top 15, because they do. They're talking a lot about Hughie Fury.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Let's go with Felix Sturm versus Fedor Chudinov 2 for the WBA trinket.
WBA trinket.
Yeah.
This might be the legit belt.
Yeah, I think it is a legit belt. It is a legit belt. It's the belt. Yeah, it is a legit belt.
Ward's been stripped of everything.
Yeah, it's a legit belt.
It's just the belt, isn't it?
It is the belt. Good fight. Yeah. Well matched in terms of their skill sets. Well matched in terms of where they are in their career. In terms of Sturm is a seasoned pro, been a champion for a better part of 10 years on and off. Let's be fair, it's come to the end of his career. Chudinov is new, he's fresh. Only had 14 fights?
Something like that.
Yeah. So it's a good way to get that, maybe that, what's the word? Crossover in between where they are, so you get something out of each fight. Sturm could prove he could hang with the younger guys. Chudinov could prove he could hang with the seasoned guys. I thought it was an entertaining fight in terms of a boxing match. Then the decision came. What do you think of the decision?
That was a joke. I'm not joking. An absolute joke of a decision. A joke. Sturm was in every round, and I'll give Sturm a couple of the rounds. Chudinov looked comfortable. There was a point, I think, in terms of round 5 where I said to Ryan that Chudinov looked so loose. Yeah. Ryan said fluid. Yeah. I said loose. He just looked. His arms were down. It was like it was comfortable. Like he's popping his jab out. Taking the shots, going to the. Every time Sturm would throw a flurry of about 4 shots, the crowd would go crazy. Yeah. Chudinov would answer back all the time, if not more. Chudinov won that fight by 8-4. I'd go as much as 8-4. For him to lose on a majority decision, for him to lose his belt, it goes back to this Germany thing that we used to harp on about years ago. And that's it there, right in my eyes again for me. Don't go Germany if you have a belt. That's embarrassing. And I feel sorry for Chudinov because Chudinov's not a big enough name to get big fights again like that. And that's a joke. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Hate it, in fact.
So tell what's bugging me in this fight is that Chudinov was fighting Sturm's old style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? High guard, started hitting the jab, except he was missing to the body hard as well. Again, around round 5-6, Sturm's whole midsection was completely red. Yeah. From taking so many body shots. Chudinov, even in the last round, looked basically fresh as day. Now, it doesn't mean because you ain't gonna bridge it in the fight, or you can't lose, but one person was clearly dishing out the harder, consistent, more punishing shots throughout the 12 rounds. Sorry, Sturm was in the fight, being competitive, and yes, he won a round here and there, but he was not winning rounds. He was not scoring point. He's like, all right, I'll give him that one. All right, I'll give him that one. There is no way Sturm won that fight.
There's just no way. Sturm clearly showed that I'm a middleweight. He had no power to put Chudinov off. Even everything he did land, he landed a couple. In the last round, he landed a few. But Sturm just ate them. What did I say? Like Marvin had
like Pac-Man.
Like Pac-Man.
Yeah, like Pac-Man.
Give me that punch.
Yeah.
Give me that jab.
Yeah. Do you see that right hand? Sturm landed right at the end on Chudinov's like solid chin.
Give me that.
Yeah.
And I feel sorry for Chudinov. Chudinov looks like the kind of person that's not going to argue. Remember like when Malignaggi lost to Diaz?
No.
And Malignaggi went mad.
Yeah.
Chudinov seemed to just accept it, walk off, and
When they said I saw his eye, he was like, what? Like, he was like, there's a flash and the camera went off to
No, he was shocked when they said 114, 114. He was like, a draw. And as soon as that happened, you think,
oh my gosh. So I'll tell you what though, seriously, like, when you watch boxing for years, you start seeing certain things. And even though me and they watched the fight together, and I said, yeah, Chudinov's got this, I said, Chudinov's got this. The way Sturm was going around, I said, Sturm thinks he's going to win this fight. And then when they said they would bring the announcement in and they were all standing there, I said, no, they're going to get to Sturm. I knew they were going to rob him. Like, I knew they were going to do it. You could just see it. When you're losing the fight,
you're trying to insinuate there's corruption in German boxing.
I knew it. Am I lying?
No,
I said it.
Yeah. How can we make this seem like a robbery without a robbery?
Yeah.
It's almost like fraud, where you don't actually rob someone with a gun, you just take it out of their bank account without them knowing. They just robbed Chudinov.
There is no way Sturm won 7
and
or 12 rounds.
You know what the worst thing is? I'll be honest with you. The worst thing for this is Chudinov's situation where he will fight of the other champions.
Yeah.
Chudinov will happily go to America and fight. We know Chudinov traveled. He travelled to the country like Budioni. Sturm isn't moving. That's the one contradiction about Sturm. So one problem people had Sturm for years is that you have a belt, we know you don't come out of Germany.
Yeah.
And Chudinov's got it, and Chudinov will go.
I used to defend Sturm.
This just takes it back. How old Sturm? 37?
I used to defend Sturm back in the day. No, I think Sturm's a little younger than that. Yeah, but I used to defend Sturm. When he lost to Oscar De La Hoya back in 2003, 2004.
No.
Oscar De La
Hoya fought Hopkins after 2003.
2004 when he fought Sturm, when he fought De La Hoya. I said that being bumped
12 years ago.
Being bumped in Vegas on a big card, by a big star is gonna hurt. But you know it's boxing, you know it's Oscar De La Hoya, he will come back from that. And he did come back from that. And instead of, and I thought, let him stay at home and get his comfort zone back again. After knocking up title defense after title defense after title defense after title defense, and then having all the clinics in America, he never fought none of them. I thought, well, he can move on. And he didn't. The past 7 years, he's stuck in Germany, and he hasn't tried to what's the word? Grow his brand. He's been comfortable just cutting paycheck after paycheck in Germany.
And he's a big money. I remember when Darren Barker fought him, and Eddie Hearn said the money's so good, Barker couldn't turn it down to go to Germany and fight Sturm. And you think, wow, Sturm's a draw.
Yeah, Sturm's a draw.
Do you know what I mean? Sturm's a big draw. So these guys have fought twice. It was a split. It was a majority. Split last time for Chudinov, which he wasn't even a split. Chudinov won that comfortably, but it was a split. Majority here, Chudinov won again. There has to be a third one.
Sturm's a 5-time world champion now, in 2 weight classes. You know what I mean? He's a bona fide superstar in Germany, but to have that accolade, you should have fought more people, but to have that accolade, you should be known worldwide.
Yeah, and then he's going to look back, and there's a couple, the Murray fight. I thought Murray won, but I can understand how people. But no, I thought Murray did win. Mackin's fight was close as well. This fight he lost. The split decision before. I just feel like this Germany stigma might hurt him when it comes to that Hall of Fame ballot, Hall of Fame we're talking about. And we've talked about it off camera. These kind of decisions will hurt you a bit. Yeah. But we'll see. Regardless, he's got a world title and 5-time world champion.
Yeah. No, 5-time world champion. Before this, when this fight was on, me and Adi were talking about does Sturm and Arthur Abraham deserve to go to the Hall of Fame? Because there's fighters that are in the Hall of Fame that are not as does not have much credentials or accolades as these two fighters. Chances are, looking at history, they won't go to the Hall of Fame because other great fighters from the Eastern Bloc have not gone over. So let us know what you think. Do they get in?
Hall of Fame is a load of bollocks.
Hall of Fame's American.
Hall of Fame is rubbish. It's a disgrace to boxing. It's a disgrace to boxing, Hall of Fame. No, it really is. It really is. In recent years, Hall of Fame has become a case of, if you go to Vegas and you sell out, there's a good chance you get in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. There's a good chance you get in, and that's what the Hall of Fame is. Yeah. Basically, it's a disgrace.
I'm not going to talk about our British fighters, but Henry Maskey's not in there. He was an undefeated champion from the 90s. I think we're 31-0, unified. Derek Nikocheski, he should be in there for his title run. That's the guy Rogers didn't want to fight, full stop, for years. There's a few from that era, quite a few that never get the credit due them.
Yeah, we'll see.
You know what I mean?
We'll see.
Yeah. Okay, let's go with the news for the week. And let's start with the big news, what we kind of missed last Sunday but made up on Friday. Anthony Joshua, Charles Martin, signed, sealed, delivered.
Yes.
Press conference on Friday, we were there. Got to meet the fighters and went through all the bits and bobs. Has your opinion changed from what we had last week?
No. I'll be honest with you. Look, and just to recap, what me and Ryan kind of said last week was that we didn't think Joshua. Not that Joshua can't beat Martin, and we'll probably talk about that fight now or later on. But the fact that, okay, what happens when Joshua does beat Martin?
Yeah.
And you heard me talk to, if you guys have watched some of the interviews I've done with Adam Smith and with Johnny Nelson, Adam Smith was very clear in his response that if Joshua does win, he isn't fighting the Lewis Ortizes and the Povetkins and the Klitschkos. He said that for a couple of fights. So that's, again, to me, that's the Deontay Wilder mold. And that's kind of what we don't want. We don't want world champions who are not fighting. Yes, he might fight the guys in and around the 15 or 20s, but if we're thinking he's going to win this and then fight Fury and fight Hate, ain't happening. No. Adam Smith is the head of boxing for Sky. With Bernie Front, that ain't happening. So that's my only regret about it.
See, the thing about it is, like, I think a valid point as well, what we have right here is that, something Johnny Nelson said in one of the interviews as well, is that regardless of the fight, take out the world title, it's a competitive fight.
Yes.
In terms of that.
Two up and
comers, both kind of untested, both kind of unknown at the highest level. It's the world title that makes it a little more dicey.
Gets a bit more glitz and glamour.
Gets a bit more glitz. But taken away, and I think it's a good point. I'm not backtracking. It's a good point though, because I was going to say it's a world title fight. Take out the world title, it's a solid fight. Yeah. But like I said, the problem is that once you get that world title, what do you do after the fact?
Yeah.
And that's what we're all concerned of. I think that another point that was made yesterday, which I think is a good point as well, was that Joshua is a work in progress. Everyone's calling him out now because they don't want to face him in 18 months, 2 years from now.
Yeah.
Where he's at his best. You know what I mean? So I think that as much as this fight's a risk, and as much as this fight, you get if he wins, he becomes a world champion without substance. He will still get the criticism, but you got to look at it and say, guess what? They're taking these fights now because they can.
What do you mean?
If, like I said, further down the line, who's going to want to fight him?
Okay.
It's a tricky one. Like I said, it's one of the ones there, whereas we don't want a Dion Wilder situation, where you got a champion who's not fighting the right people, but you have to take the fights when you could get them. And that's why this fight's happening now, because you could actually get the fight. It's not because they want to give him a world title, because he could get the fight. So now we're going to be stuck with a crappy situation. He's going to have two fights which are not really marquee or the top opposition, but it's better you get the fights now than you can't get the fights in the future.
I agree, but I also have to disagree. And the only reason I disagree with it is because Adam Smith said they were supposed to fight Glasgow.
Yeah, that was signed.
So that means they were going to fight for a world title regardless.
Okay, but Glasgow was not against.
What I'm trying to say though is that they were going to fight for a world title.
Yeah.
So their aim was clearly then to fight for a world title, and they were getting just for that.
And look at Kathy Duva. Again, she's an independent. She had nowhere to go except for the few big promoters that could actually work with her. So again,
if Adam Smith didn't say that, I'd have said, okay, you're getting Martin. Martin's the same kind of level as Joshua in terms of both kind of inexperience and, if you like, up and comers. And the world title just adds a bit to it. But the fact that you were aiming for a world title, and then you clearly said to us, Adam Smith, that Joshua isn't going to fight the top 6 or whatever guys yet for a couple more fights. Suggests it's a strange one. It's almost like you're grabbing for the title to say I've got the world title.
I'll tell you right now, for me, it's scary to think that we're going to have 3 heavyweight champions One's tied in with a Klitschko fight. Obviously, they ain't been signed yet, but we're looking for that maybe May-ish.
Yeah.
And you have 2 other champions that are not going to be fighting the people they're supposed to be fighting.
Not be fighting each other.
They don't be fighting each other. But I mean, if you've got the WBC champion and the IBF champion fighting guys that are, I won't say not ranked, but subpar ranked, that does not help boxing. That does not bring them to the sport.
The thing for Joshua, it really is that you already have clearly a superstar. And you know, they said he's Britain's biggest boxing star. I'll argue with Amir Khan, but I can understand that point. We've got a guy that's done 400,000 pay-per-view again in a British level fight, and sells out O2 Arena in a minute. Yeah. So they're gonna their argument will always be, or so their argument, but their thought process will always be, we can put him with anyone, and he'll sell out.
He'll sell out, yeah.
Put him anyone.
We've got someone in Anthony Joshua who's got all the attributes we want in a heavyweight. Yeah. Seeing someone to fight and test himself. Yeah. And then he's gonna be held back or not get what he wants to get for whatever reason. And like we said, if you get the world title, you have to fight your peers. And already saying that you're not going to get those fights, and it's only February now, fights until April. So we're talking about for the rest of 2016, we're going to get, like I said, subpar fights. It's tough.
But I will say also, and this is to Eddie Hearn, he does, not that he succumbs to public pressure, but if Eddie Hearn then says, oh, we're fighting Mansour, for example, who's a decent and very good name, but he's not a name people know, the way Twitter reacts, I think he reacts to that as well. Yeah. I don't think Eddie Hearn's the type of person, as much as Adam Smith said that, I don't think Eddie Hearn's the type of person that will match Joshua lightly. He'll put Joshua in against decent names, and I think the first one will be Malik Scott. I honestly believe that's going to be the first one if he wins.
But then, is Malik Scott in line for a world title shot in any sanctioning body?
No.
That's what I'm trying to say. So again, it's a name, itself, but it's not the fight you should really be having. I understand having the IBF already said that Charles Martin had a year to make his voluntary.
Well, then it'll be Glasgow then.
Yeah,
it'll be Glasgow, and Glasgow deserves it.
Yeah. So he's not gonna be forced to make a mandatory for the IBF, and the IBF mandatories ain't that great. Let's be honest. The IBF mandatories had Kevin Beezer and bloody Jojo Dan. Yeah. So the IBF mandatories are not the toughest list of mandatories. So you're gonna get to a situation where you're gonna fight subpar guys, do a mandatory against a guy that's mostly subpar as well. Yeah, and subpar doesn't mean you're bad. It just means it's not the top echelon. The guys that, you know, it's tough.
You know what? Let's backtrack. He's not even had the fight yet.
Yeah.
His fight is in April 9th, by the way, Sky Box Office. So let's see what happens first. Yeah. But so far, so good with in terms of Anthony Joshua's matchmaking. I'm not going to moan too much. Kevin Johnson, Dylan White, and Charles Martin, 3 of the last 4.
No, as it stands right now, I've got no fault with Anthony Joshua's development.
It's a 16th fight.
I've got no fault with his development. I think he's doing everything well.
And you saw the press yesterday.
Yeah, it was mad.
This guy's a superstar.
Yeah,
I mean, that room was ridiculous for press. Ridiculous.
No, literally, there was not a seat in the place.
Couldn't get a seat. And they said, don't tell no one. So no fans were allowed. It literally was only press. Yeah. And for that just to be a press room, wow. I'm just saying that, Rob said. Joshua's been developed and matched extremely well. I think they've done the right job with him as it stands right now. And I think that the Dillian White fight was a huge step up, but it also showed his imperfections still. Where he's not a complete article, his vulnerability. He's not a complete fight as of yet. Who is?
No, there's a few because Vladimir was a complete fighter at the time.
No, he wasn't.
He was.
Vladimir's not a complete heavyweight fighter.
No, so at the time when at Vladimir's best, he was a complete fighter.
Don't disagree. Yeah? Vladimir going backwards is awful. Vladimir runs backwards in a straight line. Yeah. He's not a complete fighter.
I think he was a complete fighter. Okay. For heavyweights are not known for being the most skillful fighters on the planet. Yeah, they're not the most skillful overall. I think Joshua was being developed really well. I'm just thinking now that the way things are, it's good you're getting a world title shot, but a world title shot should mean something that you're actually going to be at that level. And it looks like we're not going to get that.
No, a world title shot should mean you're the best.
Yeah,
so when Fury beat Vladimir, you're the number 1 heavyweight in the world.
But,
this doesn't mean that. But like you say, these chances come, and they say you can't turn them down.
You can't turn them down.
I agree with that.
And that's the thing about it. I can understand why the fight was made. Yeah. You know, I understand why the fight was made. I think it's a good fight to make. It's just a trinket. All right, let's go with this one. George Groves tried to block Callum Smith's mandatory shot for Badou Jack's title. Basically, Callum Smith is number 1 contender. George Groves is number 3 ranked, and Mohammadi, who the guy who Callum Smith's fighter was ranked number 6 or 7. George
Groves is ranked where?
Number 3.
Okay. Callum Smith's mandatory.
Mandatory is Callum Smith number 1 contender. When he fights Muhammadi, that's the final eliminator for Belichick's title shot. Yeah. George Grove and Sauerland's put in a petition to stop that fight happening, saying that George Grove should be in the line for a mandatory shot, not Callum Smith Muhammadi. 2 things that I thought about that. One, I thought, okay, boxing is a business, so you're gonna try to put your guy in the best position possible. But realistically, how can you ask for a mandatory shot at the guy that just beat you, 1 fight ago, and the guy you fought was not even up to scratch?
But George Groves has shown that cheekiness pays. Cheekiness got him the biggest fight in British history. Wembley Stadium, 80,000. I don't know what he got paid, a couple million. So he's already shown that it works if you roll the dice with his cheekiness. I think it's wrong. I think, Callum Smith has deservedly got himself into a position. And that should, he's done exactly. So that should be just accepted. But then again, this is George Groves. Nothing really surprised me about George Groves. Is a very weird character. He's a very, very weird character. What he says about his trainers, what he says about his fellow fighters. So nothing should surprise me. So I'm not that shocked. I am shocked with the Sauerlands, especially because of the relationship they have with Matchroom. So I'm shocked with that. That's why I was asking who actually done this.
I'm not too shocked about that because I think that's the business side. That's the business side. Whereas as a business, you're gonna try to do certain things. But what I'm concerned, I just thought that really, did George Groves really think he was gonna get a mandatory shot after the guy he fought, DeLucia, 3-4 weeks ago? After that performance, he's gonna get a mandatory shot against the guy who just beat him. After George Groves in his past, don't quote me, 5-6 fights, has had 3 world title shots and lost 3. And he wants another one right away, like just off the bat. Come on now, you come on now. You got to understand the business of boxing. You're a professional boxer. You're a contender. You're a former world title challenger 3 times. You knew you're not gonna get another title shot. So why try to limit or prevent cancer from moving forward? Manny Pacquiao and his reckless comments on homosexuality. He's been burnt for it. Nike has dropped him, reportedly dropped him. He's no longer be the face of Nike.
Never was. I didn't even know he was sponsored by Nike.
Yeah, he's sponsored by Nike. He was on his clothing. But I was actually quite disappointed with Pacquiao. Saw the article. Actually, my missus told me about the article before I actually saw it, and I read up on it and I started reading about it. I was like, wait a minute, did he really say that? And when you hear something, you have to question yourself. Did you really say that? And you have to think twice. And I started thinking, like, let's be honest. And I'm trying to say, everyone, if it's not at work, if it's not in your family, if it's not a cousin, got homosexual people in their family or at work or a friend or association, whatever. This is a modern world. For him to actually say what he said and relate him to animals, and dogs, and then try to say, well, what do you say? People don't understand the truth, or the truth hurts, or something. I thought Manny Pacquiao, for a man who is reasonably intelligent, i.e. he's on Parliament, he's a senator, is it senator or on the House of Republics, whatever they do over
Trying to go for Senate.
Yeah, trying to go for Senate. And of influence, should be smarter than that.
I think everyone's entitled to their opinion. I think the only thing that makes it bad for Manny Pacquiao is that he's made his opinion out there in the open. Because people have these discussions in their house all the time. Just that Manny Pacquiao is a point of a figurehead where you kind of feel like
he's the head of a country.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
but in terms of popularity, his opinion counts.
But this isn't the last boxer that won't be the first to say these things. Tyson Fury said stupid things about homosexuality 2 months ago, and he's kind of backtracked on them a little bit, and Pacquiao tried to do the same thing. I just feel like what you say, it's irresponsible. It's silly. And like you say, he's paid for it. Like have dropped him. And not only that, Pacquiao was loved by a lot of people, especially in America. Remember the Pacquiao Mayweather thing? It was good versus evil. Mayweather was the evil one. Pacquiao was the God-fearing good one. That's completely changed round in about space of 7-8 months. So Pacquiao, will be interesting what happens in his next fight. His next fight's in America as well. It's in Vegas, isn't it?
Yeah, he's in Vegas, in Bradley.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of homosexuals in Vegas. So let's see what happens in terms of his popularity over there.
Now, the thing about it though, like, when you look at the facts of it, you know what I mean? Sexism, racism, genderism, all them things, they're all in the same category. You know what I'm trying to say? You can't do one and do the other. It's all wrong. And in the world we're living in, and the way I think people should live their lives, is that each to their own. You can't stop other people doing what they want to do. As long as it's not hurting you or affecting you, let people do what they want to do. You know what I mean? If it encroaches in your lifestyle or it affects the way you are living for whatever reason, then you might have a right to say something about it. Yeah, that depends on the scenario. Yeah, obviously. But I just think that, like you said, these conversations happen in closed doors all over the world.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that someone who's in a position of power, picture of responsibility, position of respect, should know more and should know better.
I wonder if something's prompted this from Pacquiao, because Pacquiao isn't that person to tweet anything like this. So you kind of wonder if anyone's. I know he's been recently.
He's going more into religion. Yeah,
and he's quoted the Bible, and the Bible does, to be fair, say something about homosexuality. So he's quoted that. Same thing Tyson Fury did. So that's their kind of defense. Saying, look, we're only just quoting what the Bible says, and we're strong believers. But again, if it does happen behind closed doors, that's fine. Just don't air it, because you've got a lot of fans, especially Pacquiao's got a lot of fans that will be gay, bisexual, whatever. And you don't want to turn those fans off. They've done nothing towards you apart from support you and put money in your pocket and buy your products. So leave it alone.
I think there's like between Tyson Fury and Manny Pacquiao. Tyson Fury is a kind of an erratic character, and it doesn't justify what he says. But when he says things, you can't take it with a bit of tongue in cheek. You know what I mean? A pinch of salt. Like, oh, it's Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean he shouldn't be taken seriously. It's just that it doesn't come across as malice sometimes.
Tyson Fury is not running for Senate.
Yeah, and
Tyson Fury is not trying to be president.
But Tyson Fury comes around as like as a bit of an eccentric madman in the nice terms. Manny Pacquiao, like
eccentric madman in the nice terms.
You know what I mean?
Nice terms.
No, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. That, but I'm saying Manny Pacquiao is a guy that he said is kind of quiet, kind of humble, kind of So it was just a very, very off term. Yeah. Okay, fresh out the boxing basement, Amir Khan. I'll get my picture of Amir Khan for the boxing basement video, which will be done this week, hopefully. He's come out and he's free to roam, but I've started to actually chalk up just a little line at the bottom to add it up to this again. Have you heard Amir Khan's comments this week?
No.
Khan,
he's blocked us, so I can't read his stuff.
I offered to fight Floyd Mayweather for free, and you were still scared.
No, yes.
Yeah. The second comment this week: I'm going up in weight because no one will fight me. Mayweather ducked me, Pacquiao ducked me, Garcia don't want to fight me, so I'm going up in weight.
Oh, he's back in the basement. he's back in the basement. I can't take. You know what? This is. You know what?
I ain't gonna.
I don't. Yet. It's wrong to say someone might have bipolar. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. No, it's wrong. But you've got to question it. You've got to question it now, because this is stupid. You've got all the hurrah from Canelo.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
Exactly.
That's your lottery ticket. Everyone praised you. Stop it. To say you have no one to fight at 147 is clearly 3 or 4 guys that want to kick your ass or try anyway.
Exactly.
It's silly.
No. See the thing. No one to fight me. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. Forget everyone else. Kell Brook. Come on now, Kell Brook. No one to fight me at 147.
You don't think Furman wants a piece?
No, but
you think Furman or Porter don't want a piece?
No, there's other guys that can mention. I'm trying to say. I'm just saying that you can't say that when Kell Brook is here and you're negotiating and you're going back and forth and whatever. You can't say there was no one at 147 to fight you.
And that thing about I'll fight Mayweather for free. It's like when fighters say, "Oh, I'll fight 2 on the same night."
Right, yeah,
when you know you can't do it.
You know you
wouldn't. You would not fight Mayweather for free. Stop this nonsense.
So here the Khan ain't fought since May last year. Yeah, it's now like I said February. Yeah, trust me.
Yeah, since he fought basically when he fought.
That's what I'm trying to say. You had other options. There were other fights here for you. I'm not putting Khan back in the basement. I think Khan's free to roam. But as it stands right now, I'm already looking and saying, wait a minute. Like you said,
some kind of reckless comments.
Yeah, those type of comments, they're not going to help you.
We might send out the bailiffs to look for you. You know what I mean? What's that guy? Dog the bounty hunters. We might send out bounty hunters to look for you. Because that kind of reckless stuff, comment. You know what that does? I bet you know what that does. And this is the problem with Khan fans, and there's quite a lot of them.
Oh,
my God, Khan! One thing I do give you, you've got some hella strong fans.
Loyal
to the grave fans. Oh my God! What that does is that makes them think, yeah, see, he was gonna fight Mayweather. Yeah, everyone's ducking him. I told you, and we get all the comments below, and I think, am I gonna respond to you today? I can't be asked. And that's the problem. It makes your casual fans go crazy, while the real boxing fans think you're chatting rubbish.
Yeah. So I tell you,
You're chatting rubbish.
listen, my biggest
You blocked us anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Let's go with some UK news.
Yep.
All right. James DeGale
Yes.
is no longer fighting Jose Euskati, the guy. He's mandatory because he's somehow injured or failed some sort of medical.
Interesting.
Yeah. So James DeGale now is going to fight Regilio Medina, also known as Porky. Remember Porky?
I do remember Porky.
Who knocked out J. Leon Love.
Yep.
Yep. So that's the fight that's going to be set for James DeGale now. Possibly, there was talk of it being on the Anthony Joshua undercard on 9th of May. If not, James DeGale might have his own show mid-May at Alexander Palace if the fight comes to the UK.
I don't mind it going to Alexander Palace. It's good because we seem to be stuck with this O2 Arena. And sometimes, Alexander Palace is a good.
Yeah.
We've been there for prize fighter events in the past, so it's a good thing. What I will say about James DeGale is that he seems to be losing a bit of momentum for some reason. I don't know why this is, but his name's not being mentioned around some of the big fights. There's a lot of momentum going wrong somewhere with James DeGale. And it just made me kind of think the other day, who are the British boxing superstars? And we've got a lot of world champions in this country.
And not a lot of stars.
Not a lot of stars.
Yeah. I think James DeGale,
he's one of them, potentially. But I think I'm not sure where our stars are.
For James DeGale's talent, I think he could do much more.
Yeah.
In terms of, he's good in the eye to watch.
Yeah.
You watch him and think he's skillful.
Yeah.
He's defensive. He got a little bit of
Talks
power.
well. I love the way he talks.
Talks
He promotes himself.
Yeah, he talks himself. But then when he has that opportunity to actually shine, he never seems to shine. Know what I mean? Like sometimes like you just can't sink the black ball.
Yeah.
And that's with James DeGale. He's on the cusp and he's sitting there. He just don't sink the black ball. And I don't know what it is. And like before, I should say his attitude seemed to be a little. Know what I mean? And I think he's kind of cleaned up a little bit. He was hard on Groves a little bit. That's like a long-term beef they've had since they were kids. So
if I was James DeGale, and it's funny now because I remember when he done the interview and says, "Oh, George Groves 90-10, whatever."
Yeah.
Take the fight with George Groves. He needs British. He needs something to. They both need something, but I think James could need it even more.
You can make an argument right now that even though George Groves is on the slump and James DeGale is the champion, George Groves is kind of the A-side in terms of popularity and name.
You know what I mean?
You can make an argument that he's in terms of what I'm trying to say.
It's not just, and it's not just because George Groves fought recently.
Yeah.
It's because he keeps himself in the mix. Even that silly comment about Callum Smith, he keeps himself there for some reason. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like right now, I mean, look, I'd rather see James DeGale versus George Groves than James DeGale versus Porky.
Yeah. Let's say for argument's sake, James DeGale was fighting Porky at the O2, which is about 6 miles from here. Yeah. Or on the same night, George Groves was fighting a opponent like Porky at Arizona Palace, which is about 6 miles from here. Which fight would you go see?
DeGale.
Why?
I like DeGale better than George Groves.
You like him better than your dog. Who do you think the general public will see?
It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
It
shouldn't be a tough one.
It shouldn't be a tough one.
It should be James DeGale because world champion.
World champion, exactly. Take out the world champion. Who do everyone sees?
I don't know, you know why I say I don't know, because look at the tennis George Groves got.
Yeah, they weren't too great at Copper Box.
They both need each other and they're both thinking they don't. They both need each other.
So tell you what, it's funny that, just being honest, this is not about James DeGale. World titles having on the banner IBF, WBC, those sell fights. Just being the world champion sells a fight. Take out the actual world champion and actually make them individuals, it's a different ball game.
I agree. I mean, look, and I don't mean this disrespectfully because I hate doing it, but 3 years ago we know where James DeGale was fighting without any banner. You know what I mean? He was fighting at Blue Water and doing those small shows. So I kind of get what you mean, and I want to see what I would like to see if this fight does happen down to Palace. Very keen on the attendance. Yeah, because we know he's fought under Wembley Stadium. So he's, again, undercard. He fought. Who did he fight again? Periban. Undercard. So I want to see how he had to show in this country, because I don't think he's done it for a very long time.
I'm not sure that layout for old school Alexander Palace, but when we went to Alexander for the prize fight event, the venue is not too big.
No, the boxing, it wasn't.
It's not too big, because you remember
didn't look more than 4,000 in terms of that layout.
I remember the way it was kind of like two sides, and you had one side kind of
blacked out,
curtained off. You know what I mean?
That could have been for attendance, maybe.
Yeah, I know about that. It's weird. Yeah. Okay. Sticking with the UK news, David Price has hired Dave Coldwell as his trainer, and he's looked to make a comeback in April.
April. 2 months April.
2 months April. Yeah. I'm not sure what to go with David Price. I think he has a lot of talent and ability, but let's be fair, from the Olympics, there was always question marks about his chin and his overall desire for the sport. I don't doubt his desire, but I definitely doubt his I won't say mental strength, his toughness in that high echelon. Because in the fight, the Tepper fight, let's forget that fight. The guy was cheating. He's a multiple-time PED cheater. But in the Tony Thompson fight, he did seem wanting on the toughness side. They could develop him well and bring him back with a good trainer, but is that going to fix the problem?
No. I'm with you with David Price. Regardless of, and I hate to say regardless of, I don't think it was going to be stick, but regardless of the fact that these guys were cheating, the performance levels in both of those fights, all 3 of them were still lacking. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were still lacking. I mean, we've seen fighters go against people that cheat before and performance level is still there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I just don't know if he looks like he's got ability. He's got all the intangibles for ability, but I'm not sure if he actually has got the ability that we think he's got. I'm not sure about David Price. Dave Cole was a good trainer. Obviously, Tony Bellew's in that camp, and mentally wise, you ain't gonna get stronger than Tony Bellew. So that could help. But I'm not sure. I mean, what would be the aim? If the aim's to get to a world title level, then I don't think he's gonna get.
Nah, see, that's
the thing. And I think he should only be looking at thinking, I want to get to that level.
That's what I'm concerned about now. When I look at the division right now, and I look at forget the elite. Let's look at the B sides, like the Shagayevs. I don't think there's a good fights for him.
No, even Lucas Brown.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Wouldn't put him
when I look at the European level and look at the lights that are hanging around, like the Herneliuses.
We just watched. We just watched Pianetta. How did he do it? Francesco Pianetta. How good did he look?
Yeah, he looked good.
You know what I mean? And he's probably not even ranked in the top 30.
Yeah, I think maybe around top 20. Yeah. But you got a point. And Chisora's hanging around for the European title as well. I don't think any of those fights are good for David Price.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about good for today. I'm talking about good for next year. I'm talking like I don't see where he goes. And so tell you what I don't like. I hate when you got boxers that are talented, but you don't know the direction to go in, so you're just floating around, and they got an issue, kind of like Enzo Maccarinelli a couple of years ago, when he's a good boxer, but chin was never good, and he had no direction, and you kind of like, oh my gosh, he's going down in weight, don't want to get knocked out.
Yeah. And
that's what you're always thinking.
The problem as well for David Price, and it's a very, very, very big problem, is you look at who's fighting for the European title in a couple of months.
Yeah.
Chisora fighting Pulev.
Yeah.
That's European level right now. European level is Pulev versus Chisora.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't good.
You can't say they always ain't trying.
You know what I mean?
Trying to be the division,
so what level is, you know what I mean? Think about it. What level is Price going to try and come fight back? If Pulev fighting Chisora for a European title, I mean, boy,
it's tough for him.
You know what I mean? Dylan White's going to be fighting around British level. Might fight for the vacant British title.
Again, would you put? Honestly,
no,
would you put Dylan White right now?
No, I wouldn't. Dylan White's hungry for a head right now.
Yeah. Dylan White's already talking about, let AJ win the title with a rematch.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're right. The top 6 are gone, but the 10 or 15 below that, are dangerous kids.
Yeah. No. Frank Guglielmi and Frank Rowan part ways.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
And apparently it sounds mutual. It doesn't sound like there was any. Okay. It doesn't sound like there's any underlying issues. If it has been, it hasn't been reported. But apparently, Matchroom said they're not really interested either.
Yeah, I can see why.
Yeah.
Matchroom stable's gigantic.
And they've got a lot of world-class
super middleweights.
I don't think Buglioni is world class.
Unless they Matchroom, would only do it if they were trying to match Buglioni with like a Rocky Fielding, just kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's the only way they'll do it. I don't know what Buglioni's money is per fight, but Buglioni's always seemed to be like a name that the Box Nation liked.
Yeah,
was it Wise Guy?
He's a Wise Guy. Yeah,
he used to sell a lot of tickets, and I think he's not lived up to where they wanted him to go. Let's be honest, he's not.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to do something as well, and he hasn't done it. And again, when you mentioned earlier about David Price, I don't know what level Buglioni's at.
Yeah.
I think he's actually British level.
Yeah.
But it's not even European, British.
That fight with Chudinov was so one-sided. That fight could have been stopped from way earlier.
Maybe that was the roll of dice one.
Yeah.
That was, if you perform well, even if you lose, but if you perform well, there's something more for you, we can do stuff. But if you lose handsomely, then that's it. But I don't know what other promoter we can go to. You can't go to the Salas. You might have to go low to one of the Goodwins or one of that. Do you know what I mean? Jeez.
I do not know.
I don't definitely 100% don't think the Collins thing's working. I'll tell you that now. The Steve Collins partnership.
Yeah,
I don't think it's working.
to tell you what,
that's 3 or 4 fights now.
Yeah, it's 3 or 4 fights.
Good boxer doesn't make a good trainer.
Just my personal opinion. I think when you're in camp or training camp, you should be with your fighter. Yeah. When your trainer lives in another country.
Yeah. And Billion's not moved to Ireland, has he?
Exactly, yeah. So when you're day-to-day running in the gym, you know what I mean? Not saying your gym has to be local, even if you have to drive like an hour to get to your gym, you should have to get to your gym and your trainer be around you, so you're in that environment. Being there and training by yourself or training with another trainer, then your trainer flies in when you need it, never thought it's been a good look.
Yeah.
Okay, last week UK news, on which is as well. Hughie Fury is going to have a meaningful fight on the 26th, they reckon, of March.
That's the undercard then for Blackwell
Eubank, yeah. They said meaningful, but nothing's been really announced. They said they offered the fight to Chudinov. His name's been floating around a lot recently. Don't know why, but obviously he's got a shot with Ortiz for a mandatory at the WBA.
What Ortiz?
Luis Ortiz.
No, he isn't. Ortiz is fighting Thompson.
Yeah, after that.
Well, so after they've already signed.
No,
Chudinov to fight Ortiz, assuming that Ortiz wins.
So basically, not been signed yet. Basically,
he was supposed to fight Ortiz, wasn't he?
No, yeah, he was supposed to fight Ortiz, and now they got to have the fight by June or something like that, or July, and that fight is like a final eliminator or a mandatory for the
Deontay Wilder's title.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I have absolutely no idea the route that they're doing with Hughie Fury.
Yeah.
To the point, this is going to sound a bit drastic, but the point, if someone told me Hughie Fury's retired, I'm like, I understand why. I have absolutely no idea the route. I don't know if it's British. I don't know if he's trying to go for a Commonwealth title, British title, English. I don't understand what they're doing. It reminded me of when Fast Eddie Chambers was over here. Yeah. I was like, okay, what's Eddie Chambers doing?
Yeah. I thought I seen him a couple of fights over here. Didn't get to see nothing.
Didn't see anything.
It was on the opening card.
Yeah. And honestly, so I tell you what, I'm really don't know what you do here. Obviously, we know he was ill, so he was out. Look, he's got skills, and I tell you, I remember when we first saw him, he said he's got more skills than Tyson.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's going on.
From when he first came out, we first saw him in his first, second, third fight when he came on TV. We said he looked really, really good. But in saying that, he seems to me to be the same fighter then as he is now. In terms of that, he looks really, really good. But we're not seeing any progression in opposition, really.
Yeah. Who thought Larry Olabamiwa? I know that was a last-minute replacement.
Yeah. But you got a
guy that's lost his last 18 or something.
Okay, but let's be fair though. Hughie Fury could have beat Larry Olabamiwa in his first fight.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. So I don't see where it is. It's confusing.
But I also believe, and this is no disrespect to Mick Hennessy, I also believe that's where Tyson Fury was. Before Tyson Fury, now think about it. If you remember, before Tyson Fury got the Derek Chisora fight,
he was kind of unknown.
Look at who Tyson Fury's fought in that run of about 8 or 9 fights. It was nobody's.
Yeah.
Then you got Chisora. Think about the names. Cunningham.
Difference is though, Fury was fighting regularly.
It was. But again, is that due to Hughie Fury's illness?
Injury, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. We give Hennessy a lot of plaudits, but if I'm Hughie Fury right now, give me names.
Nah,
give me fights.
I agree with you on that one.
Why can't he fight the kind of level that Joshua was fighting 4 or 5 fights ago? You know, Joshua had those kind of names.
Yeah.
I can't remember that Brazilian. I can't remember. He seems to have gone everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Brazilian. He's really tall, big, strong.
Zambuno Love.
Yeah. That kind of level.
Yeah.
Or even the kid that Joshua knocked out in 2 in 1 round, the Highlander from Cornish.
Cornish.
Yeah. Cornish should give him a little good test.
Yeah. No. GGG versus Dominic Wade face off. Obviously, they had their press conference this week.
Yeah.
There was Dominic Wade talked a good fight. But when I first saw Dominic Wade, so let me get it right. When I first saw the name, I didn't recognise. I was like, who's this Dominic Wade? When I saw his face, I said, all right, then I've seen this guy fight a couple of times. Yeah, I've seen him fight a couple of times. So I looked at his record, and I just remember it was on the undercard of Hopkins Chudinov. Yeah, and I actually got a fight of his from Fighting Night Fights as well. So I watched that as well, and not a bad fighter. Not saying he's gonna win, but he's capable. I'm not so down on the fight now that I know who it is than I was previously. Yeah,
it's not. I agree, 100% agree with you. There's a lot of, you know the problem we are as, and I'll put me and you in this, but no, not us as much, but we want to see these marquee names fight marquee names, and some of the marquee names we want to see are crap.
Yeah.
In terms of crap fighters, they're just not very good fighters, guys. And sometimes you get kids like Dominic Wade, actually good fighters.
Yeah.
Just don't get the opportunity to kind of put themselves out there. And I think Dominic Wade's one of them. Look, is he going to beat GGG? No.
No.
I'll tell you that now, he's not. But regardless, there's guys out there that deserve opportunities. And some of these so-called marquee names want to see are just guys that are hanging around for paydays when let some of the younger kids get some money.
No,
do you know what I mean?
No, again, everyone's talking about Chavez getting a shot at Badou Jack. Chavez,
does he deserve it?
We were high on Chavez a couple of years ago.
Oh, very high.
The past year we've been like Chavez is terrible. Now he's got before he had a little discipline. Now he's got no discipline.
And Chavez is in the top 10 paid boxers in boxing right now.
I'd rather see Dominic Wade fight right now than see bloody Chavez fight.
That's my point. Yeah. So as much as people might laugh and tell GG's not fighting anyone good, this guy isn't that bad.
No, he's not that bad.
He's not that bad
as well.
Do you know what I mean?
Got no power as well.
Yeah, look, I like to see this guy. For example, I personally watched this guy a couple of times, and the Martin Murray I see now, this guy causes Martin Murray problems.
Yeah. Do
you know what I mean? That's the kind of level.
Only thing I'm concerned about is that his level of experience at the higher level, which is obviously the top 10 level, not being tested.
It reminds me of the kid that GGG fought last time. What's that guy's name? The young black boy.
The one that gave him the little 6-rounder.
William Monroe.
It
reminds me of him in the sense that the inexperienced thought he could go toe to toe with GGG. Yeah. He made a mistake. So hopefully Wade would have seen that and realised he can't do that. Look, I don't want him to run. Yeah. Kind of Martin Murray-ish. Yeah. But I want him to stick. You know, you got to land something to deter GGG.
Exactly. No, you got to stick to your craft.
Yeah.
Now, GGG seems to be a more complete fighter than most of these guys at middleweight.
Complete than anyone.
No, but you got what I'm saying. But let's be fair. Start with your jab. Start your jab on the front foot. Double it up. If you can, get a triple. You know what I mean? Yeah. Keep that distance. Keep that range. Don't go and try to start thinking you're going to outbox him or I'm going to try and test his chin first or whatever. Don't do that. Stick to the basics. Yeah? The most important thing in boxing, I'm trying to say, the thing they teach you first, I'm trying to say, is your jab. Yeah. Know what I mean? Yeah? And your good footwork and good balance. You don't learn hooks or uppercuts or nothing like that until you got good footwork. Yeah. Know what I mean? Good balance, and you can pop that stick.
Yeah. Honestly, you're right. Pop that jab and move.
Know what I mean?
Pop that jab and move. Once you start, I always feel for boxers when they just square up and try and trade with it. It's like, oh my god, what are you doing?
Let me go for bro. I could punch. Let me see if I can.
I can hit. I've got a bit of power.
Yeah.
34 I've tried and 34 I've realised I don't have that much power. I don't know how many fights he's fought. I think.
Let me tell you something about power. Yeah, and this is what I've seen a billion times over in real fights and in the gym and in sparring. It's all good having power if you can land. Yeah. If you can't land, your power means nothing. It means zip. Yeah.
And the amount of times you keep winging the shots. Yeah. And you see what John Pascal did, and you keep missing.
Your power goes down.
Like Street Fighter.
Yeah. Sticking with Chavez Jr., it seems like Badou Jack Chavez is a done deal. Yeah. Yeah. I'm confused. I'm really confused. When we were talking about the possible fight with Froch and Chavez 2 years ago, the fight kind of had some relevance. As it stands in 2016, I think Chavez has had maybe 4 fights. Or 5 fights since Martinez.
Yeah, I think it's 4.
4 fights in what, 5 years, 4 years?
Yeah.
Besides being inactive,
he looked crap as well.
Looking crap and having poor performances, besides not making weight and keep fluctuating the weight class for all the fights he's going to make, how do you get a title shot? And then, on top of that, don't look at that. How you even ranked? He ain't even fought. When last time he fought?
Yeah.
When last time he fought?
From Farah.
And he got knocked out?
Yeah.
Come on now, let's be fair.
I think, you know, it's weird because in some ways I respect him. There's a guy that clearly didn't have to do this.
No, exactly. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's a
superstar back home. His dad, he can live off that wealth as your dad's the king of Mexico and just enjoy it. You took up boxing, it's a tough sport. I couldn't cut down weight. He's taller than me. I couldn't cut down to 168, 160, 154.
Apparently you're 4 foot tall.
Yeah.
Why you bring that up again? You said
that's your camera angle shooting.
What camera angle?
Anyway, so I kind of respect him that he's even still doing it, if I'm honest with you. If you are going to do it properly, but I don't know, man. It's a tough one. I mean, where do you get the motivation from?
Yeah, you're right. He didn't have to, and
didn't have to at all.
He's had a 40+ fight career, maybe 50 fights now. I don't know what his record is right now.
Been in tough fights.
Yeah. And he started young as well, know what I mean?
No amateur career.
Remember he was a kid.
15, remember that? 15 years old watching him box.
Know what I mean? So like, he's done a hard route.
So
he doesn't need to.
You can almost say to him, you know what?
I think for him,
he's in the basement. He's in the basement. He's in the basement. I think the first video.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, he's one of those guys. So I think he's seen how his dad's revered in Mexico, and he wants that type of love and adoration for himself.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
The funny thing is, he's kind of got it a bit already.
Kind of, yeah.
He got a little respect from the Martinez fight, even though he got whooped because he put Martinez down.
No. Like I said, no one sometimes that one shot, he got his ass whooped for 11 and a half rounds.
No, 11 rounds and 2 minutes 52 seconds. He got his ass whooped.
I don't see that as much as we love boxing. I don't see how 1 minute, saves your career.
No, you know what it is? It's not that it saved his career, it's just that he was such a big underdog in that fight anyway, in terms of real boxing professionals. He's had no amateur fights. Yeah. And he's literally just, I don't know, he's almost winged it a little bit, and he's done pretty decent. And he's still a draw. Everyone still wants to fight him. Froch wanted to fight him, War said he wanted to fight him, now Badou Jack's got the fight. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. Who's his trainer now? Is he with
Roach?
No,
Garcia.
Oh God. If he's with Garcia, then
I don't know.
I think he's with Garcia. The last time I saw.
I think the best coach for him really is Nacho Beristain.
Yeah, Nacho Beristain.
He's the best guy. I mean, trying to keep him in shape and keep him in check. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, there's something about being old and tough. Where, because they're old, you kind of respect them a little bit more, and because they're tough and disciplined, it kind of grinds you down a bit.
You know what I do like? But obviously, Cotto left him, but I thought he was a decent trainer.
Pedro Diaz?
Yeah,
Pedro Diaz.
I liked his style, I liked everything about Pedro Diaz. I think Pedro Diaz is a big good trainer. He's a good amateur coach, and I think that's what he needs, a bit of amateur boxing coach.
I'm telling you right now, I've never seen Cotto fight backwards before until we've had Pedro Diaz. You know what I mean?
I thought he done very well.
Yeah, very capable.
Yeah.
Alright then, let's move forward. Very decent card being proposed for the 16th of April. Errol Spence versus Chris Algieri, and Steve Cunningham versus Golovkin. Not a bad double header.
Decent double header. Decent double header. PBC,
you can make an argument, as it stands, they're both 50-50 fights in certain ways.
Yeah, Golovkin is not 50-50 with Cunningham, not having that.
The reason why I say that for Cunningham, Cunningham's been lost. He's lost a few fights at heavyweight, which is not his natural weight class. He comes in at 205 or 206, so it's clearly not the weight class he's fighting at. But he's holding his own with bigger guys. And Cunningham is a two-weight world champion. Two-time world champion at cruiserweight. Yeah, he's not past his. He's 36, I think, but he's not past his peak yet.
He must be older than that. I think he's about 40. I think he's 40, 41.
No, I can't be 41 yet.
I believe he is.
Must be still in his 30s.
I believe he is. If Afolabi's 36, I believe Cunningham's 41. But go on.
The way he's fighting,
his shape. Don't get me wrong. His shape.
Of course, he's in shape.
He's the most best boxing specimen I've ever seen.
No, he's great. He's great.
No,
he's tremendous.
Him and Ken Norton. Yeah.
Like I said, I weigh more than Cunningham. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
But he looks amazing. All right then. We said in that video we done about Afolabi that the old guard is gone, and I agree that because we said Cunningham's gone up. But the way Cunningham's been fighting, and that's it again against bigger guys, I think it's a very good fight. Him and Golovkin.
You know, the problem for Cunningham is Cunningham's record in the last 20 fights or so is, I think, is 1-10, lost 10. Something ridiculous like that,
He lost to Hernandez twice.
Yeah.
He lost to Huck.
Yes.
He lost to Fury.
Yes.
He drew with.
He lost to Adamek twice.
That's the Adamek, yeah.
Twice. Let's not forget those.
Yeah. That's the Adamek
he
twice.
He lost to Glaskov, which I don't think he lost, but he lost to Glaskov.
Yeah.
Mansour.
He definitely won. He definitely won with Glaskov.
But he lost again. Yeah. So I'm trying to say he's actually lost like 10 in his last 10. I mean, last 20 because of them. I don't. So it's almost I respect because I remember you said something like he's like Hopkins. He takes all the fights.
Yeah.
Hopkins wins them.
Yeah.
And I mean, Hopkins takes them all, but Hopkins wins them. He takes them all, and yes, we can make excuses about the weight. He's up in the weight. That's his fault. Hopkins went up from 160 to 175.
I swear one of the Cunningham fights was one of the Adamek fights were really close though.
It was. I think one of them was a split.
It was a split. It was really. But again,
close. On the record says
a loss.
Do you know what I mean? So I don't know with Cunningham. I mean, everything about him suggests he's a good boxer. I watch him and I think you're a good boxer. Then I look at his record though, and it suggests that. You're a bit. See, the thing I think Cunningham always in good fights and he's always very, very competitive.
I don't think the losses didn't tell up in my head because he's always in good fights which are really, really close.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
but it's only because I knew about this fight from midweek.
Yeah.
I thought, let me go and look at his record. I looked at his record and I thought, jeez.
Yeah, I don't think it was like
sketchy.
that.
You know when you look at it, especially when you look at it on BoxRec.
Yeah.
You see green, red, green, red. And I was thinking, wow, this is a sketchy record.
I'm gonna have to look at that for sure. But
Errol Spence finally gets a name.
Yeah, gets a name.
Algeria will think, I can take you.
Yeah, Algeria is definitely capable.
Yeah, I will definitely get him.
Definitely capable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they say, what's the Errol Spence, the truth? Yeah. I think he's special. I think he's got talent. But guess what? Until you fight the top guys, you don't really know. It's all good blowing out guys you're supposed to be. Algeria is the guys that I would say is that, guess what? Maybe you're not supposed to be.
Maybe you're not supposed to be.
Yeah,
or maybe you're not supposed to be as impressive against.
As impressive against, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so, and I've been burnt before with some of these so-called bloody legit fighters. Broner and Berto have killed me.
Burnt by Broner and Berto.
Oh my god, they both killed me. So I'm not getting high on Spence until I see him fight a name, and this will be one.
This will be a name. And you know, let's be fair to Algeria. Now I'm trying to say, he lost to Amir Khan. Even though he rocked Amir Khan a billion times,
embarrassed him.
It's the Pacquiao one, yeah.
How many times? 6, 7?
Yeah, but there was no shame losing to Pacquiao.
It's not how many times he got knocked down though.
But see,
that's Pacquiao, that power.
But I look at it this way: how many times he got up?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
you're the glass is half full man.
No, it's just that sometimes, like I said, I like to see if I get knocked down, and get up. It proves something.
Okay.
When fighters get knocked down and they stay down, then it doesn't really prove nothing.
Yeah.
When you should guess what, I'm getting my arse whooped. I got up 7 times. I still tried to fight. I still went to the 12th round and put in a fair shot. That's a fighter.
Right.
Golden Boy's case against the Godfather, Uncle Al, has now progressed into the second
honestly,
stage.
when you say Uncle Al, I genuinely believe you are related to him. Could you say it comes off your tongue so well, Uncle Al?
Yeah, you know me, I'm the name giver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Golden Boy's case is now progressed forward. So that's 2 lawsuits now, separate. That Bob Arum's case, Top Rank's case has moved forward back in January.
Yep.
And now it's February. The second case is moving forward with Golden Boy, which means there is steam behind this case now. Yeah, they're in a stage where they're calling America, what I read? Something like observation stage or something like that, where they actually look into certain bits, whatever. Yeah. So as much as I like PBC's definitely got a problem because at the top of the lawsuits, they're still not making money.
Yeah, I've said it on. I think we mentioned this about maybe 2-3 months ago when the Bob Arum case was there, and I was like, there is no way on this earth that all the contracts that have been signed and all the people that have run away from Golden Boy and Top Rank are legitimate 100% clean signings. Yeah. There's definitely dodginess behind every single one of them. It almost just becomes silly. Yeah. Even Charles Martin thanked Al Heyman yesterday. Yeah. I'm thinking, I forgot you with Al Heyman. Yeah. It's just like you can't have signed that many people without without breaking some sort of laws.
I think the laws in boxing have always been shady.
That's what I meant to say. Yeah.
But when you're signing 5 fighters, it's only 5 fighters here, 5 fighters over
that's
there.
Not really. Yeah.
When you got 200.
Yeah.
Now people are saying, wait a minute, that's not fair.
And when you keep taking their marquee stars, they're like, no, something's going on here.
Remember this year is that it's when you're all robbing each other, it's kind of fair.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? When someone's robbing everyone, now it's no longer fair. You don't like it. Because let's be fair. If you go back through the history, Arum and Don King had the same beef. Arum and Golden Boy had the same beef. Everyone had the same problem all the time. But it's only now you got a new entity that's taken over every single aspect. Because remember, it's not just fighters. Yeah. They're taking the TV dates.
Agreed.
They're paying fighters more. They're generating more publicity for their brand and their shows. Al Heyman does not talk or doesn't negotiate or doesn't. It's kind of like America. We don't negotiate with terrorists. Yeah. Al Heyman just doesn't talk full stop. Yeah. Know what I mean? And that's what causes the problem, where he's doing so much and he doesn't say nothing to justify how he's doing it. That causes extra scrutiny.
Yeah, I mean, if you think of it in a business world, this would be called a monopoly. You don't like it. It's supposed to be it's supposed to be shared equally. Yeah. And like you say, although Top Rank and Golden Boy had beef, it was shared equally. Yeah. They both had a couple of stars. Yeah. They both put on their pay-per-views and HBO and Showtime. It was okay. Yeah. You had Lou DeBella was doing his little fight. Lou DeBella, like Jermaine Taylor, he had Martinez, Kathy Duvra had her people. Everyone had a bit of a fair crack. You know what I mean? This is now ridiculous. I think this is a bit ridiculous now.
Okay, there's been talk this week of Cotto versus Ruslan Provodnikov.
Oh, so it's no more Marquez.
No, it's not. They've got options. Well, it's Cotto, of course.
Better fight.
Options. Huh?
Better fight for me. But I don't know what weight Provodnikov was fighting at 140.
Yeah, apparently they're 147 is fighting now.
Oh yeah, he's fighting. His last fight was 147 in Russia, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Cotto's coming at 147 as well.
Cotto will come down to 147. Then Provodnikov beats him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cotto cannot. Cotto is not. You know, Cotto's not fought 147 for nearly 10 years. Sorry, 8 years or something. Because the last time Cotto fought 147 was Manny Pacquiao 145. That was the last time, right. And that was 2008 or 9. The last time, and he, you know, what it is he actually was fighting at 154 and then came down for 145 for that.
Can't be fighting 154 that long.
Huh? He's been fighting at 154 for that long. So as much as we say he can make the weight, can you?
Like I said last week with Terence Crawford and Provodnikov, I think if you box Provodnikov and you just weather the storm, you're okay. Just don't trade with him. Cotto can box,
but he likes to trade.
But he likes to trade. Yeah, and that's the thing about it. If you fight, if you fight Provodnikov's fight, then you're in for a fight.
I always just feel when you got one fighter that's coming up in weight and can just enjoy a nice meal, don't have to cut much weight, and you got another fighter that has to take a couple meals away, no water. No, it makes a big difference sometimes. That's suffering, you know what I mean? It makes a big difference. So if I was Cotto, I'd do what they've done to him. Make the fight at 151. Make yourself comfortable. Make that guy come up a bit.
I just don't think Cotto needs it no more.
Yeah, I don't think Cotto needs to fight now.
Yeah, I mean,
when you're trying to find all these fights, stop. Yeah. Cotto has a good, clean. Cotto must have 100 million or close to in the bank. Cotto's had some big fights.
Maybe because he's on promotion company as well, and his deal with Rock Nation is part of his company.
That's the problem, though, I think. He's obviously got some sort of fight deal with Rock Nation, maybe before 5, and he signed big money contract,
distribution,
and he has to fight.
Distribution for his shows and whatever.
He has to fight.
Yeah, could be. Talking about the B side of Cotto, Antonio Margarito. He's going to be fighting George Paz Jr. Yeah, in March, I think it is. They had is it Aztec, the Mexican channel?
Okay,
they had a little face off on that Aztec and everything, and they done little pictures. And Margarito's face looks ruined.
What do you mean? Just really?
Yeah.
Weight drained or just
no, the eye.
Oh, the eye.
It don't look real. But
like Michael Bisping's eye.
Yeah.
Is it Michael Bisping's eye?
Yeah,
really bad as well.
Remember we saw it last year?
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah.
Just scary bad.
Yeah.
Like, you're scared to look at him.
Yeah.
I hate Margarito.
Yeah, same man.
I hate him.
Yeah, same man. God. He said if he loses this fight, he'll retire.
He should be retired already.
I hate saying bad things, but you know, like I wish his eye would drop out in the fight.
I don't know about that. That's horror movie stuff.
Seriously,
you're pushing too much Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nah, Halloween, mate. No, seriously, I can't stand him no more. Seriously, I think he shouldn't be fighting. Full stop.
Yeah, there's cheating.
Yeah,
steroids is one thing.
Yeah.
This thing, like, I hate people take PEDs.
Yeah.
This is another level.
No, it's another level.
This is another level.
Paris,
Plaster of Paris to make your punches. You're wearing small gloves anyway.
Okay. Remember Panama Lewis back in the 80s when he took the padding out of the glove against I think it was Collins, and Collins ended up killing himself or dying in the ring. I can't remember the full story.
I think he died in the ring.
Yeah.
Did he die in the ring or did he commit suicide?
Suicide after, yeah. But you get my point, and I'm trying to say, taking that padding so you have bare knuckles being pounded on, it's just like the plaster of Paris as far as I'm concerned. I'm trying to say, so most of the Paris must be worse because it's actually concrete.
It's honestly, it's.
You get my point, yeah. If you got to know your history of boxing to understand the risks these guys take in the ring and what Margarito done to understand the dangers of it.
That's why that's what I think makes me even love Cotto even more. For Cotto to survive that beating and come back and do what he's done and excel, make the money he's made and be one of the highest pay-per-view sellers all time, you've got to respect it because that beating with those gloves, I watching it today, it still pains me. Especially because now I know how you're doing that to someone, and it reminds me of the Kermit Cintron fight. I watched both those fights and Kermit Cintron goes down surprised.
And Cintron's a bloody
Cintron's a tough man as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I was happy when Mosley kicked the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And Mosley winged those punches in.
That like, man knockout. That last one was like proper.
And kind of walked away when he punched him, like stayed down.
You like the walkaway shots, isn't it?
I love the walkaway ones, bro.
Yeah.
You know where I get the walkaway from? Yeah. Mosley and Mark Hunt, UFC. He knocks people away and he walks away. Doesn't even wait for the count.
Alright then, last bit of news for the week. The Gloves of Us previewed this week with Quig Frampton. Quig won that. For sure.
For sure?
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Quig had, but not the shocking part, Quig mentions that Frampton was knocked out in sparring or dropped a couple of names and locations, and Frampton actually knew what he was talking about. But then Frampton tried to play it off saying something along the lines of that, I was an amateur, and then Quigg said, no, you were an amateur. I go, no, I just turned over from amateur, and he kind of caught him out a little bit. And I just thought that in relevance, it has nothing, because it's an amateur, it's sparring, it don't mean much. But Frampton clearly seemed rattled by that part of the conversation. Do you think Quigley's got into Frampton's head? Not because he's your boy or he's my boy, just from the actual show. Do you think it has a psychological effect the way that played out in that show?
No. Not at all.
Don't be biased, just be...
I'm not being biased. I've watched it a few times. Watched the whole show. And Quigg even says, Frampton actually says, yeah, what do you mean when I touched my glove on the... Yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't...
Yeah. I don't know. When I watch the Gloves Off shows, I always try to look for elements where, where someone's trying to get under their skin or whatever. And I thought that Quigg, who's normally a quiet person, seemed to really be trying to dig in on Frampton. You know what I mean? Work the psychological game. I don't think Frampton was expecting that.
I thought Frampton looked bored.
Yeah.
I didn't think Frampton wanted to do it. Looked a bit bored doing it, and I just think it won't have any bearing on the fight whatsoever. I don't know if these things do. I don't know if these things do have bearing on the fight. I think they're good entertainment.
No.
I think it's fantastic. I don't know. I mean, look, unless it's the Groves Frotch one, which will never be beaten ever. That handshake will never be beaten. Yeah. That has a psychological effect.
See, that's big. It's all about your skills, like we said in the show already. But I do think though that if you get into someone's brain or get into someone's head before the fight, make them doubt, make them think, make them question, make them ask themselves questions, it could cause a problem. I mean, it's a psychological thing, it's a mental game. And I think that's what Quigg was trying to do.
I think once they do that, it just reminds me a bit of when Frotchers and not George Groves out in sparring, and he that was his big selling point. Yeah. And I was like, okay, and let's see what you do in the real. And he got knocked down. So when someone mentions someone getting hit in sparring, it's not because Frampton's my boy. Yeah. I just feel like sparring. Yeah. I mean, sparring. You sparred. You've had your good days, you've had your bad days. Yeah. Sparring. Someone's coming in 100% on it, and you're 20% on it. Yeah. It can happen. That's my bearing about sparring. But I'll be honest with you, and I did agree with what you said. And I'll tell you now, Quigg won it. If there's going to be a winner and a loser, Quigg definitely won that. Frampton looked a bit rattled, didn't know what to say. Quigg seemed to be ready on it. But does it have any bearing in the fight? I'm not sure. Look, regardless of what I'm going to say and what you're going to say, it's a good fight. Yeah, it's next week. Can't wait for it. Someone said Johnny Nelson put the curse. Yeah. Everyone said as soon as Johnny Nelson picks a winner, that person loses. Yeah. So I'm a bit frightened now because obviously it's a £45 bottle that we're betting for. No, but £65 bottle. What? Yeah. And it doesn't matter because I'm winning. Nice £65 bottle for the house. Can't wait for it. Can't wait. Alright then. Well, that is it. Any fights next week? Yes, fighting next week. What fights have we got next week? Quigg Frampton. Can't wait for that one. Also, on Box Nation, we got Huck Afalabi. It's a good fight. Yeah, really good fight. Also, in the night, we got Terence Crawford versus Lundy as well. Yeah. We were good undercard as well. That kid's name, Video? Video? Can't pronounce his name, but everyone is high about this kid. Yeah. And I'm very interested to see his fight. He's fighting at lightweight. Yeah. So that's what's 135 pounds. Yeah. So although people were saying he should fight Crawford next, I'm not sure that's going to happen. Yeah. To be honest. There's no stars right now at 135, is there really? What's going on with Mickey Garcia? What the hell has happened to Mickey? Is he in a contract problem with Top Rank? We should actually start doing a bloody missing list. Because we talked about oh my god, talk about a missing list. Guess who's back? Who? 175 pounds. Who? Tommy? You think, okay, what fighter have we not seen for 175 pounds for a while that I thought was actually going to rule that division? Not Chad Dawson. Chad Dawson is back. No way. Chad Dawson is fights on the undercard. You have to check it out. Check it out very quickly. Sorry, Chad Dawson. It could be Terence Crawford. It could be this week. But bad Chad Dawson is back. He made 175. He made 175 and he's back. Yeah, he's not gonna make 175. No, he's fine at 175 and he's back. Chad Dawson is back. I just saw it. I was like, a guy that I thought was gonna rule boxing is back. He better take it from Kovalev. No. What day is it? No, 12th of March he's fighting. He's fighting TBA. Oh, we don't even know it is. So it's gonna be a bum. But regardless, and that means if he's starting TBA, that means the weight's gonna be disputed. Yeah, it'll be a catch weight somewhere. Yeah. But he's back though. If he's in decent shape, He's back, but I don't know what's left of Chad Dawson.
Chad Dawson's another one of those fighters that seems to struggle psychologically.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, struggle psychologically. That I mean, with Hopkins, I'm trying to say where
that's his best performance today.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying the one fight he kept together.
Yeah, that's the best performance today.
Yeah,
but division's frail right now, so it might need something.
He can get a name and it'll be good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, there you go. This week in boxing, good edition. I like this so far. Another long one, hour plus. It's funny because me and Ryan were talking about this. This show used to be 15 minutes.
Yeah.
How on earth did we do 15 minutes for this?
Someone actually commented on one of those old videos a week ago. Yeah. And I was scared to watch it.
Oh, yeah, I'm scared to see what they're gonna say.
No. I read the comment was fine, but it was us.
Yeah.
2 years ago,
and we used to have the Muhammad Ali thing back down in my house. Yeah. And we used to proper set up a little bar. Remember we had that boxing bag. And Ryan used to bring gloves and the pads.
Yeah, and everything. Yeah.
Damn!
How times have changed.
Times have changed, boy. Yeah. Times have changed. But guys, and thanks for watching. Remember, subscribe. Please share the video on all your social media things, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, Pinterest, whatever you want to share it. And thanks for watching another edition of Boxtalk. Cheers.